it's just not working. It was like a whole thing. It was a lot of work. There's never a right time to start, right? The time is actually now and when you decide. Hi, welcome back, everybody. I know that you keep saying that you want more freedom, more money, more alignment, more clarity in your business and your life, but saying it isn't enough anymore. This year is about doing, not just declaring. This video is for you if you are driven, you're ambitious, and you may be a high achieving creator, a coach, a entrepreneur, a wellness and fitness enthusiast, a creative. You're already doing well, but you know that you are capable of more. You are likely already earning, you're creating content, building in the digital space, but you feel like that there's actually another level that you haven't quite yet unlocked. And you do want structure, and you want precision, and you want to move with intention. You want your energy and your income and your lifestyle to actually match the vision that you keep talking about. I absolutely get it. I'm right there with you. Right now, it is January 15th. And I've definitely been in the action of refining what my own strategies are for building my business this year in 2026, my high ticket affiliate marketing business. And I've been really trying to figure out how to align the content creation and my marketing with my high ticket business model for this year so that I can scale this and create success for 2026. So after a few months that I've been researching, and definitely in the last few weeks of creating my intentions for my business and professional life, personal life, financial life, I realized something that is so important, that actually clarity, it just doesn't come from planning. It actually comes from implementing and integrating. I wanted to have this conversation with you today because it's about doing the work, testing your strategies, and learning as you're going. And of course, always being in the vibe and having fun. You say you want more, but your actions say otherwise. There's actually right now, you may be experiencing in your current lifestyle, in your current work environment, in your social environments where you are living today, currently right now, there is a gap between desire and decision. I hear a lot when I'm getting on sales calls, clarity calls, strategy calls for my business. What I commonly hear all the time is that you want time freedom. However, you are filling your calendar with social events, with unnecessary work, with people, just doing activities that are actually going to drain you. First of all, it's really important that if you say that you actually really want to create time freedom, have the time in your day to do the things that you love, to be with the ones that you love, to be building a business that you love, to be living and earning in a way that you truly do love, you've actually got to start with looking at your calendar. What is it that you are spending every day doing? It's really important maybe in the next couple of weeks to do an audit with what are you filling your days with? What are you actually spending your time doing? And it's important to note that there should be this seeking always finding your balance between your wellness and your personal development habits and practices, as well as balancing that with the things that you need to do for your business, your income producing tasks, the tasks that are actually going to move your business forward this year. If you look at thinking about what do you need to spend more time doing and what do you need to let go of in your calendar to create the space that you actually fill your days doing the things that are going to help you drive success in your life today. And this may be, are there too many social events? Are you scrolling too much? Are you having unnecessary appointments? Like, look at what is actually filling your day. Wherever you are in the world, maybe, of course, you have to allocate a certain amount of time because you're still working, say, a 9 to 5 job. Of course, if you're still in those structured hours, like you can't let go of those hours yet. But look at then what are you doing in your mornings, and then maybe if you get off from work, or even if you are a freelancer, or you're creative already building in the digital space, look at what the activities are that you're engaging in that aren't moving the needle forward, and allow yourself to let go of, and I'm always going to say this, sometimes you need to be able to prioritize prioritize things in your days, in your weeks, because in order to create your results in the future, sometimes now you have to give up some things that later, when you have created that success, you will have more time for. So, what can you give up on? And for me personally, I allow myself to not be overly social. I value my time very much, my resting time, my downtime. And then I very much allow myself to have time to do things for my business. Because if I'm out too much with people, or what is it in your days that actually leaves you feeling drained, and then you're not able to focus on things that allow you to excel in your wellness and your wealth? What can you actually let go of to create the space to be able to focus on your wellness, to be able to have the space to do the things that you may want to do to build a business or create success? If you're watching this, create success in another area of your life. Where are you saying that you actually want to expand? You want to expand professionally, let's say personally, let's say in some area of your life where you want to expand in your wellness, maybe it's in your friendships or maybe a current relationship. But think about where are you actually still playing small and you're avoiding that discomfort. Because when we actually allow ourselves to notice the fear and the resistance that comes up when we are focused on pursuing success, but we think, oh, I'll just continue to do things like this, or you may have a big goal and you think, oh, I'm not really able to achieve it. Like maybe there are for you self-limiting beliefs and there's a self-limiting narrative, or maybe there's other activities or circumstances that you know that you're still playing small. Allow yourself to recognize that, because by putting yourself in those uncomfortable places and stepping out of the box and changing out routines and doing things differently than you do today or you've done yesterday, it is going to allow you to push you forward to be able to expand. Through discomfort, we can expand and evolve. And I know that you get to actually choose those hard things and those hard situations and those circumstances. But if, again, you keep just choosing to stay in the same where it's comfortable, but you're not creating success, then you're not going to expand. Just allow yourself to observe. I invite you to observe in your life, where are you still playing small? Okay, the next one is I'm definitely something that I'm guilty of. So you say you want to grow, but you're waiting to have everything figured out before you start. First of all, there is never a right time to start. And second of all, you will never have all the answers figured out and everything figured out before you create X, before you become successful, before you want to create some desired future results. This is commonly seen as analysis paralysis, that you may be having like all these ideas and you're journaling and you're manifesting and you're writing it down and you're speaking it out. You have all these amazing ideas of things where you want to create success for this year, but you still like haven't started implementing or taking action or moving forward. You're just like in this, like, it's great to have the excitement and have the ideas and to brainstorm and manifest and start to visualize, absolutely. But it's really important that you know that you cannot have it all figured out. You cannot have everything to a T figured out what you're going to do to create success for the future. So I invite you to today start to take the action today. Even if you still like don't know what you're doing, it's learning as you go. Because really, the truth of it is, you'll never have it all figured out. Even for those crazy multi-millionaires, billionaires with multiple 7, 8, 9-figure businesses, they still don't have it all figured out. But you can learn clarity through the doing, through the implementing, through the integrating, not just by waiting and thinking it's all going to come together and then you'll have it figured out. You've actually got to get into the action of that. We're not in this hustle economy. Nobody wants to hustle and grind. There's definitely something to be said about wanting to work in a very focused, intentional, strategic, determined way, but in this like burning yourself out and like never sleeping and never taking care of your wellness and just grinding. Like we are definitely in 2026 moving away from that, because that is not a sustainable way to work or to live or really to exist. We are rather in a precision economy. Your effort alone isn't going to win. It's not about working harder, but it's about working, of course, smarter and more aligned. And it's working in a way where your direction is clear and strategic and focused and intentional. My personal strategy moving forward is implement, then iterate. Integration over perfection. Done is better than perfect. To put this into context, in the last few weeks, even at the end of last year, before I went to Sydney, and then at the end before New Year's Eve, and even in these first couple of weeks, I definitely have been overwhelmed with creating clarity around mapping out and creating a blueprint about what my next moves are. Whether it's, am I going to create new funnels, new content strategy, new systems, which platforms am I going to show up on? I actually had a call with some business friends of mine, a friend of mine who's in Los Angeles and another friend of mine who's on Maui. And we were talking yesterday evening all about social media strategy, content creation for this year, for building our high ticket affiliate marketing sales business. It definitely hit me after the conversation last night and everything that I've just been personally consuming online and listening to calls through my online community, the education platform that I'm a part of. I feel like I've been stuck trying to perfect something that I haven't yet even tested. Like I'm trying to, and this is why I wanted to create this, I was trying to like come up with all the answers and this exact strategy straight away. My new strategy is actually simple, right? Simplicity over like overkill. So my strategy now is simple. You've got to implement first, and then for the next couple of months at least, I'm actually committed to creating content and integrating new strategies which I have taken away from different trainings and masterclasses and things that I've been consuming, as well as honoring what my own style and my own, of course, always my own visions and value are, my own, what I value and what my big vision is for this year. To implement that, and for me, I would like to move forward with creating content again through my YouTube channel, and whether this is again going to be a video podcast, which I would eventually love to start like ASAP anytime soon. Of course, on Instagram, I have been fantasizing and playing with the idea of starting a whole brand new TikTok. I do have email marketing set up already that's going. Being able to do this at least for 2 to 3 months, 90 days, and that way then I can actually review the analytics, and then I'll be able to gather that data, see what's working, what's not working, and then iterate from there. I actually did this last year with my marketing campaigns. I was actually running quite a lot of paid advertising, meta ads through my Instagram platform, and I actually was able to read over a period of 6 months what was working, what wasn't working. If you've been following my channel or my Instagram, you'll have seen that I had certain marketing and campaigns and funnels that was one style, and then I completely created and redid everything. It was almost like a rebrand for my content and marketing, and I created new funnels, and it was like a whole thing. It took me it was a lot of work. That's where I feel like that you really got to be able to do things, execute and implement and integrate for a certain amount of time, review, you see like what's not working, what's working, what do you like, what feels good, and then iterate from there. Like I said before, I definitely do not have all the answers, as well as when I'm in meetings or watching other creators that have very successful brands and businesses, 6, 7, 8, 9 figure businesses, nobody has all the answers. Nobody has all the answers. And there's also not just one strategy and one way to do things. And that's the beauty of actually building a business and having a personal brand in 2026, is that you should be able to feel authentic in your own vibe and your style, honoring your values and vision, and then building out what you want to from there. I definitely know that over the years I have been in entrepreneurship now, coming into my not quite yet 6 years, but you learn as you go, because again, you can't have it all figured out from the beginning. You can't have everything figured out. You need to learn as you go, integrating all the time what you're learning and then reviewing those statistics and that data and analyzing that. You cannot just be in this, and people get into this paralysis analysis of just constantly like learning and taking in trainings and taking courses. You've actually got to put what you're learning into action, and you've got to put that into aligned and inspired action. It is, like I said again, I'm guilty of this analysis paralysis, and maybe you are stuck in your current business or your lifestyle or where you're at in your wellness, where you're at just currently in your life, thinking, okay, like, what do I actually need to do to move the needle forward, to move forward? It's actually, you don't need to invest in another course. You don't need to actually watch another YouTube video, listen to another podcast. Actually, I do advocate for reading books. I've definitely started reading again this year. But you do need to act on what you already know. Because actually what you already know, I heard this the other day, you only need to know 10% more of the person that may be watching you that is learning from you. You don't need to know absolutely everything. Again, not everybody knows everything, but you do need to take what you've learned, the skills that you already have, the mindset that you've already worked on, where you're currently at in your professional life, in your life with the skills and the knowledge that you have. You actually need to act on what you already have. If you are, again, already creating, coaching, building in the online space, just don't wait until everything's perfect, because it will never be perfect. Allow yourself to move, to test, to learn, to adapt, to shift, to pivot. Clarity, it definitely doesn't come from contemplation. It's going to come from iteration. What are you actually building? First of all, are you clear on what your vision is for this year? And likely you already are. Likely you are somebody that is already, you're very ambitious, you're creative, you're already earning online, you have an income, you're actually not starting from zero. This is my audience here. I know that you're watching and you already have some type of momentum, but you may be feeling a little bit stagnant, and and the clarity is not there. And it's not actually that you don't have or are aware or have researched what opportunities are for you. It's because you're not already leveraging where you're at and what you already have. And this could also mean for you in wellness as well as building wealth. What are you currently building? What are you focused on for expanding in your wellness, in your lifestyle this year, as well as for your business and building wealth? Maybe it's online or maybe it's not offline. Allow yourself to look at, are you scaling a brand? Are you maintaining a job that is just creating an income for you? Are you maintaining a wellness routine or fitness routine that may be keeping you limited? Look at the different areas of your life, through your wellness, through your professional life, even through your social life. Look at like where you're actually maybe feeling limited. That again, it goes back to where are you playing small and what are you actually not leveraging what you already have. You already have skills, you already have knowledge, you may already have like systems and practices and habits that you're already doing. Where is it that you can actually create more alignment and clarity for yourself this year? One thing that I want to share about, like personal to myself, is for me, and maybe you can relate to this. I'm somebody that I love Pilates. And for me this year, last year, my focus was on Pilates. And this was specifically, I started Pilates just for getting strength from my body for surfing. And I definitely have felt the effects that it 1000% allowed me to create so much strength and stability for surfing bigger waves, for being able to keep my body body together when I'm having wipeouts or hold downs. For me, this act of already being very fitness driven and I'm already very committed with my practice, I'm thinking this year, where can I increase my strength for not only obviously big wave surfing, but also just where can I increase my routines and my habits and my overall wellness, my fitness, my physical fitness for myself this year. And that's doing more strength workouts, not just Pilates. Of course, Pilates is strength workouts, but somewhere incorporating a little bit heavier weights workouts for myself this year. This is also obviously for longevity. We all know that weight bearing exercise is good for the bone density, especially for women. And then to reflect this personally for myself, and maybe you can relate this to your business already, whether it's online or offline, but you already have skills. You're already creating content. You're already able to write. You can put together different skills that you have for creating content, for maybe building out funnels. Maybe you're doing webinars. Maybe you have other systems in place, automated systems. Maybe you're starting already and you're utilizing AI. What could you actually leverage? Whatever skills you have, your habits, your content, where can you actually be able to create more alignment and precision and intention to be able to build upon what you already have? Where can you actually leverage that to become more wealthy, more well, more radiant, more energetic? What can you actually leverage there? I want you to be able to review what you are currently building, what you desire to build, what skills and habits and routines you have, and where can you leverage that? And it's about thinking, what can you maybe, again, this all ties together. What are you spending your time on that maybe you don't need to be spending your time on? What other activities can you engage in, or what can you participate in or give time to in your day that actually moves the needle forward for being in your most optimal wellness, for creating a greater income online, for maybe starting a new business, or for building out your personal brand. And it's being able to have the maturity and the awareness to choose execution over your excuses. So actually last week I listened to a call through my online education platform, and there was this woman from Canada, and she is just like you and me. Maybe she's more like you. I'm not married with kids, but her story about her success, she's aligned with the same company and business vehicle that I'm aligned with. She actually in 3 years has been able to generate more than 500,000 in sales revenue for her business. And she talked about that when she has conversations with people, if they're interested in what she's doing, or maybe they're already currently doing what she's doing, and you say, "Oh, I don't have time," or I don't have the money to start that. You need to be able to invest your time and money, what you don't have now, in order to create what you want tomorrow. I really found this powerful, and it's those excuses that you may be saying, and maybe you may be saying them subconsciously. So I invite you to bring awareness to what your actual narrative may be in your mind, or bring awareness to what you're actually saying every day in your life. And are you allowing yourself to be saying these excuses and being limited by saying, well, I can't because of this or because of that? Because it's actually those excuses and those things, maybe they negative, or those limitations that you say, or it's maybe that scarcity mindset. That's actually what's keeping you stuck. Instead of actually leaning into, they're the reasons why you should be leaning into choosing to execute and commit to the things that you actually are saying are your excuses. Your next level isn't just going in life and in business and in wealth and wellness. It's not just going to happen. You've actually got to step up and commit and execute, right? Your next level isn't found. It's going to be built with intention and with strategy and with, of course, always vibe. If you've actually been oh, I'm just waiting for a sign. I'm waiting for the new moon. I'm waiting, you're There's never a right time to start, right? The time is actually now and when you decide. This is it. This is me. If you're watching me today, I'm going to be your sign today. Whichever time of whenever you hear this, I'm actually going to be the sign and help you to shift, right? This is it. Stop thinking that you're going to chase the next big idea and start actually refining what's already in your hands. Start actually with where you're at, honor where you're at, and start to leverage what you already have and think about where you may need to develop some new skills or where you need to adapt some new routines or habits. Allow yourself to be implementing and testing what you already know and start to actually execute that. That's exactly what obviously I'm going to be doing. When you are actually in this execution, this inspired action, this aligned action, you're in the doing, you're going to actually create momentum, and momentum is actually you're going to start to see results. And when you start to see your own results, this creates clarity. And when you start to get clarity, then you start to become confident about where you're moving to next and what you need to do to pivot and shift and iterate. Through this action, it's actually going to help you obviously be consistent, and it's going to help you close the gap of where you are to where you want to be tomorrow. Allow yourself to be curious about trying out new things, testing new things, leverage what you already have. Allow yourself to commit to these new practices in business or in wellness. Allow yourself to commit to that to at least like 2 to 3 months. Because if you just start something for a couple of weeks and you're like, oh, it's just not working, it's like, you've got to thicken up the skin. Allow yourself to commit and have more time there so you really can see results, how you'll be able to iterate in the future. I definitely can say that I'm in this same process. I am focused on starting to create short form content in a different way, having like more text overlay. Really would like to focus on batch content creation. I'm really focused on creating, obviously, I've already set out for the next, until the end of February, a series of my email marketing campaign, as well as allowing that to cross over to content that I want to share with you here through my YouTube channel. I don't yet have a podcast. It's always something that I'm talking about. I need to get into the doing. Allow yourself to get into the action of the doing. And of course, like I always like to remind you, if you are curious about anything that I'm doing in the online space with my high ticket affiliate marketing business vehicle, then please reach out. You can leave a message below in the comments. I do have a masterclass for you to watch. However, I do invite you to think about what I have shared with you today and allow yourself to apply that in your own way to your own life with your own style and what your own vision is. I really do hope that you found some value with everything that I have shared with you today. And if you liked the video, please hit the like button. And if you want to see more content like this, just hit the subscribe button. Thanks so much. See you next time.